So we're talking about raw food with Chef Sunita, and you had discovered this in the Northwest about these people that were eating raw food and about healing from within. What did you do after that? Did you decide to go and study this? Did you take a class? I hate to be ignorant, but did you go then into culinary school and say, I'm going to take a class on raw food?
Well, that really,
did they even offer it then?
What happened was, I was so intrigued by seeing these 80-year-old men with so much energy. I started experimenting on myself. I just started researching and just spending a lot of time in the kitchen, on experimenting on myself. And I started, my hair got thicker, my poor vision improved, I don't wear glasses anymore, and my weight just came off without even trying, all my baby weight, And then I started experimenting with my children.
Interesting.
And then they hardly got sick. So I was like, there's definitely something to it. And then, the more I did it, I realized the benefits of it. And I said, I need to take this out and share this with the world. And that's my way of contributing. So that's when I started the Raw Food Center. But before I did that, I actually went back to culinary school in California.
You did?
To just really learn about raw foods, the science of foods, and
so they were teaching that at this time. They had already understood the benefits of raw food, whereas the rest of the world or the rest of the United States was heavily eating fried and processed food and whatnot.
Exactly.
And then you started the Raw Food Center.
Yes.
So tell me about that, because it's not just in the United States, it's also in Singapore.
So my travels took me to Singapore, and we were based in Singapore at the time. And I had just come back from culinary school, and I was so excited. Initially, I thought opening a restaurant, but my children were still little. I said, no, how can I really help people, take these learnings that I've had, and they can take it back into their lifestyle for lifelong benefits. So then I started the Raw Food Center while I was based in Singapore, and we started doing events and programs, and then it just kind of grew from there.
And it's teaching. One of the things that I've enjoyed about taking your seminars and classes is that you teach, rather than us watching you, you're teaching us very practical ways how we can integrate these recipes and tips and lifestyle habits into our own homes, because everybody thinks, oh, it's so much work.
Right.
Nobody wants to spend many people do not want to spend more time in the kitchen than they have to, because they're coming home late and whatnot.
Right.
So did you teach classes and seminars there in Singapore then?
Yes, that's what I did. First, I did events to get them to try the food.
Understand.
Because when I was talking about raw food, this was in 2010, people thought I was talking about sushi,
I see. Okay.
So it was really an education process, getting them to try the food. How do we make it? And my challenge was really, at the time, I found people were just putting whatever's healthy on the plate, but it wasn't tasting good.
So in other words, they were doing like a kale salad but it wasn't tasting good.
It wasn't tasting good, and I realized that with my children too. Like, just because it's healthy, they're not going to eat it. It had to really taste good. So I spent countless hours in the kitchen, really trying to figure out how to make this quick, number one, easy, and delicious. Otherwise, no one's going to do it. So I spent the hours so nobody has to.
Okay, so you researched that.
Yes.
And did you find it difficult, though, to make these foods palatable, even though they were healthy? Without using so much salt, so what did you do? You incorporated spices and...
What I did was, because raw food is using the natural, freshest ingredients, right? It's already loaded with minerals and its own flavor.
It's supposed to taste good.
It tastes great. So the moment when we cook it, it dullens the flavor, and then we're adding all the spices to bring out the flavor again.
Right.
But it's really amplifying the flavors that are already there, and how we combine them.